What's up, guys? This is Jonah from Magic Gaming, and we are back again with another video for you guys. This time we're going to break down the big men defensive and rebounding badges on 2K21 Next Gen, and we have a real treat for you guys today. We have our center on Magic Gaming's roster, Robbie May, our center here with us to break down some of these badges. So Robbie, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself a little bit here?
Yeah, what's up, guys? I'm May from Magic Gaming. I've been in the league for 2 years, so going on my third. Last year is my first year with Magic Gaming, and I guess just Jonah gave me the call for this because I'm more known for my defense and rebounding abilities, so it sort of works out.
Well, we are excited to have you on today, Robbie. Let's get right into it, guys. We're going to break down a tier list for all the defensive badges and rebounding badges in 2K21 Next Gen for big men specifically. Some of these are not exactly big men badges, so we'll talk about those as we get going here. But we're going to start off in alphabetical order mainly here. So let's just start with box. Robbie, I know I've heard some things about box. I know on current gen, a lot of people thought it was kind of useless. What do you think about box on Next Gen currently?
Yeah, so Next Gen, I personally use it on gold, and a lot of people use it on silver, but I'm going to stick it in the A category because it's essential. So I'm going to go A.
Okay, we're going to go A with box. And again, like, is that something you think that if someone has Worm on Hall of Fame, like gold box is probably good enough for you?
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, I still get Worm maybe like once every few games with gold, but I got to use my points in like other categories, and gold does the job for me. So.
Okay, sweet. What do you think about the brick wall badge this year?
Brick wall, I feel like 100% if you're a center, needs to be in the S category on purple Hall of Fame, because you're just gonna be setting screens every play. Unless you guys are running just straight 5-out, I think brick wall on Hall of Fame is essential to get your guards open, and I don't know, it's just worth the points.
Do you think it is like maybe the best badge in the whole tier? Like the best badge for all defensive and rebounding? Like I know we have a few, like you're probably Rebound Chaser and stuff like that are pretty important that everyone knows.
If I had to only have like one S badge, I feel like me being a rebounding, I might use Rebound Chaser as my if I can only have one S, but if we're having multiple, then I think brick wall definitely has to be there.
Yep, we'll definitely have multiple. The S tier is going to be like if you have a center build, you have got to have it in your build. A is like definitely should if you have the points. B is like, hey, this is more fringe. C and D are kind of like, hey, maybe we shouldn't have these. So next we have chase down artists. I've seen a few chase downs, so I think it was probably better on current gen. What do you think?
Okay, so going off literally what you just said, I think this 100% sits in the B category. A lot of people use it and love it, but for whatever reason on Next Gen, for me, I'm not using it currently. I don't get chase down blocks with it. I mean, I've seen other people get chase downs with it and it work, and like some people are like, you're crazy for not having it on. But I don't know, I'm just not a fan of it this year, so I'm gonna stick it in the B category.
All right, right on. Yeah, it's super fluky, right? Like it's all about just getting that animation, and I think it's definitely fringe. So I think B is probably where I would rank it as well. Clamps.
I, as a center that's used with and without clamps on Next Gen, I think it definitely belongs in the A category. A lot of center builds can't get it, but if your center build can get clamps, I think it's definitely essential to use. I personally use it on gold, and I've been using it for about a week or two here now, and it's definitely made my defense like a lot better.
You think it's really good for especially like situations where you're switching onto the ball, right? Like your lock takes the center to the rim, and so you have to switch ball and you need it.
Yeah, 100%.
And explain it for the people that may not know. What are the requirements to be able to get clamps?
I want to say it's 80 perimeter defense. So when you're making your build, just put it to 76 if you want to be tedious, because you know you'll get it at 99. That's how I did mine, and it still works. Like my 80 perimeter is really well.
Sweet. What do you think about defensive leader on a center? I know that we're a lot of times locked down. Some guards may throw it on. What do you think about on a big man?
I'm gonna throw defensive leader in the D category. I think the way the game is at center, you need a lot of badges. I have 30, and I still feel like I don't have enough. Like I just said, I don't use chase down, so I definitely can't use defensive leader. So my teammates are gonna have to get out the mud. So I'm gonna leave it in the D category.
Okay, so we have the most OP badge from current gen, Heart Crusher, next. I agree on defensive leader. But what do you think about Heart Crusher? Obviously, it was the most broken badge on current gen with its ability to make people cold so quickly. Yeah. So what do you think?
Yeah, so current gen, I have a pretty funny clip on Twitter. Just the first play, everyone got cold. So if we're talking PS4, it's definitely S. But if we're talking next gen, I'm gonna put it in the C category. With all the badges you need, it's not crazy good, and it's not as OP as current gen. It couldn't be. That was insane. So we're gonna go with C on this one.
I think that's probably accurate. Okay, this is a good one. This is a really, really like controversial badge. I think a lot of people would say it's an S. Some would say it doesn't do anything. What do you think about Interceptor?
Yeah, I'm definitely going S for Interceptor. As a center, guard and pick and roll, like you need to play lanes basically every single play. So, I mean, I know what you mean by the lanes on this game aren't as crazy as they used to be. But if I have a play where like I'm reaching for a pass I think I should have got and I don't have Interceptor on, like I'll be kicking myself in the foot because like I'll be like, damn, I should have had an Interceptor on for this game. So I've had it on purple the whole year, so it's definitely S for me.
So you think this is something that if you're a center, and if you have the badge points, you should for sure put it Hall of Fame. Like it should be one of your first Hall of Fame badges.
Yeah, I think so. And okay. It's I think 84 steal at 99 to get Interceptor. So like my build, I did 80 steal at 95 when I was making my build, 84.
Have you tried it on anything lower than Hall of Fame? And if so, like what do you think the differences are?
I have a 6'11" center that only gets a gold, and I only use it for a couple of days, and it's like I didn't notice a difference honestly. So like realistically, if you wanted to use badge points elsewhere, like you could probably get away with gold Interceptor. I mean, speaking on past 2Ks, I used to have it silver on like 2K20. But obviously, this is a new game.
For sure, I think that's good. So at least gold is the recommendation from May. Intimidator, another pretty controversial badge.
Yeah, I'm going S for Intimidator. I've had it purple on every single player I've made. I think it's big. I'm a big hover contest type of center, so like if I think a guard's gonna shoot, I'm sort of in the sweet spot of I can get back, I can tip the pass, I can get a box out, and I can also get a yellow contest by just hovering with Intimidator. So that's a badge. I definitely have purple, always will have purple until I see someone like try it. Maybe it still works on bronze. I know people have tried that in the past, but I definitely just keep it purple.
Yeah, it's one of those where like you get an 11% contest and it just misses a wide open layup, it feels like, and it's really demoralizing and makes it so the other big probably is not going to go up with another 50-50 layup the rest of the game, which is always good, helps you out on defense. Off-ball Pest.
Yeah, off-ball Pest is definitely going in the D category. Pretty useless for a center, I'd say. I have tried it, I'm not gonna lie, just like maybe like a bump, sort of like an old bruiser if people played old 2Ks, but yeah, it's not worth it, and you're gonna need your badge points for stuff more important.
Okay, on a center, now this one may not make any sense to even be on the list. Pick Dodger.
Yeah, we're definitely going D. It's sort of like the last one, just like not for centers.
But what if you were a lock? Did you think it's pretty decent this year? Any idea?
I mean, yeah, if you're a lock, I mean, it's sort of like how I was describing Interceptor. It's sort of like you're playing that with you know what I mean? Like you're playing to dodge picks the whole game. So it's sort of like, yeah, I would probably use it purple. I don't have much like knowledge on that, to be honest with you. I don't really know what locks are doing nowadays, but yeah, I'd probably go purple if I was a lock.
Sweet. What do you think about pickpocket on a center?
Ooh, I'm gonna put that in C because
Ahead of Heart Crusher or behind, you think?
We'll go in front of it. If you can.
I can. It'll mess up, but I'll get it. There you go.
Okay. So I'm going C because when I was on my popper, which still had 30 badges, so like my shooting center, I would use it sometimes because I felt like I didn't really have anything else to use it on, because I didn't want to use worm because, you know, I'm not like in the paint as much. And I remember in my tournament, in the Mo Buckets tournament that I played with Hank the Tank, I used pickpocket and I was getting like a lot of like what used to be a blitz steal. So like I'd be like kind of behind their body and just reach at the ball hand, and it would work for me. So, but like right now I'm not using it. Like in Pro-Am, it's not as needed as Park maybe, because Park you're sort of playing a little more aggressive, playing a little more fluky. Since it's 3v3, it's so easy to score. So I'm gonna put it in C.
C for Pro-Am, but maybe B for Park is kind of what you're thinking.
I'm just gonna say C overall, because if you have the points, like plucks on this game are pretty bad, but it's not in the D category where it's like useless.
Yeah, it can win you a game. It can win you a game, can it?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Fair enough. I think that's good. Pogo Stick, another pretty controversial badge. I know a lot of people didn't wish it was in the game, but it is here. So what do you think?
This one's tough for me. It's between C and D right now. If I were to ever use it, it would be bronze. And I almost tried it on my popper because, like I just said, I had so many points, and I'm trying to think, like, I never use it. So you know what? I'm gonna leave it in C, because I think that on bronze, when you jump in the paint and the center thinks you're about, no one uses it. So the center thinks like once you jump, you're good to go up. So if you ever had it bronze, you would stun the offensive player. So I'm gonna leave it in C.
Interesting. Okay, so if you have like one leftover badge point, it might be a decent one to just throw on bronze, just to kind of,
100%.
especially probably in Park where, like, you know, a shorter matchup, it's not as easy to take advantage of. So I like that. Post move lockdown.
So I mean, post move lockdown definitely going in D. You're never playing post players, honestly, like anywhere. I've never really played someone that uses the post. Like Park, you play 2 6-7s basically, so they just spot up and one ISOs. Pro-Am, no one is using a post player, or they're probably a bad team. So, you know, I'm gonna definitely leave that in D. Never use, not useful.
Fair enough. I think that says a lot. Rebound Chaser.
Rebound Chaser, definitely S category. I use it purple.
You think it's the best one, right? Probably
I would say for me, I would put it as the best one. Other people might disagree because, I mean, admittedly, rebounding on this game is, especially on defense, is very team-based. Like, you're playing high on screens with how crazy fading is for guards right now, and they're starting to learn how to quick stop. So like, you need to be really high on pick and roll defense, and you know, you need basically your corners to crash. So I think it's important for your corners, especially to have Rebound Chaser on. But I still definitely use it purple, especially when I'm on my inside center. Like, I'm getting a lot of offensive rebounds now, so it's definitely S.
Yeah, I feel like offensive rebounding alone makes it worth it, because offensive rebounding is probably easier than before, and defensive rebounding is probably harder than before. So I think it's probably worth it to have on. I would definitely, if I had one badge point, I would probably put it on Rebound Chaser first before anything else. So Rim Protector.
Rim Protector, definitely S. contact dunks. They are toned down a little from what they were, but you never want to be under the rim and get dunked on rather than get a nice like looking block because you have rim protector on. That badge is definitely essential as a center, no matter where you are on the game, whether it's Park, Pro-Am. That's definitely a purple badge for me.
Yeah, I think it's. I agree. Since contacts are as good as they are, you don't want to be able to. You don't want to get dunked on too much. Rim protector's probably got to be up there. Let's go with Tireless Defender here.
That's gonna go in D for me. I've tried it a little, but it's kind of like with all the things you can get. As you can see, we already have 5 in S, 2 in A. Yeah, it's not worth the points that you can use elsewhere.
Now, I know you for a fact, a lot of times at the end of defensive possessions will have no turbo left, and you still have it in D. So talk a little bit about that. Like, it's just, you just don't think it's useful at all. Yeah. I know, like, you work your stamina bar a lot and still don't think it has value.
Yeah. So, like, that does happen a lot where I'm just like, I'm drained. I'm not. But, so that's why I tried it, and it just, like, it didn't do anything. So I'm leaving it in D for sure. Fair
enough. Now this is the most May badge I've seen ever. Trapper. What do you think about Trapper this year?
That's gonna go in B. I think it's right there at Chase Down where it's like, I'd say usable, but also you need a lot of points. So I think that is more a lock badge because I've tested it before with like me and my lockdown both had it purple, and it's not like you get a trapper like every single play. I mean, you somewhat get trappers throughout the game, but like I'm currently not using it. I think that's another one where maybe you could have it bronze, like or either bronze or you just go full out purple, or you just have your lockdown use it. So I have it in B because it is useful, but it's not
overpowered. Yeah. It's not overpowered like maybe it was, I want to say 2K19. It was really, really good. Everyone was using it, or maybe that was 20.
20 probably.
20, yeah. Everyone was using it. It was a great badge. Interesting. So you're saying right here, so let's just go for, let's look at this for a second before we get to Worm here, because Worm is an interesting conversation. But so if you have basically 20 defensive badges, you think you should go 5 purple here, or do you think you should go like maybe gold interceptor, gold rim protector, and then like at least bronze box, bronze clamps?
Yeah, that's hard. You would definitely need box on it, at least bronze. So you would have to probably, I would
maybe brick wall.
Yeah, I might do brick wall. I would play around with it. I might do like gold Intimidator, which would hurt me, but you definitely need at least bronze box. And then clamps is like real useful. So I would probably go like gold Intimidator, gold Interceptor. That's probably what I would do.
And they just throw both these on bronze.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense. I was just kind of, because not everyone is a 30 badge center. A lot of guys are in the mid 20s, 23, 24. So that's a different conversation for them. So now, what do you think about Worm?
Yeah, so this is hard to give a category because it depends how you're playing. If you're on a popper, don't use it because you're not in the paint as much. You don't have strength. I would say this 2K more than the past, like current gen PS4 2K is strength. Like I've noticed a difference in it. I've noticed it helps with Worm. So if your player has strength, you should definitely give Worm a try. So I'm gonna put it in B, because I think that's a badge. It fits with those other 2 badges where it's like it's usable depending on how you play, and I personally love it right now. Like it's definitely essential for me, but if I was on my 6'8" popper, like I'm not using it. It's not worth it because I'm on the perimeter too much.
Fair enough. And then we have the other ones down here that we're not going to get into much, because I don't think these are very good for us. So we're just going to throw them in D. Not really exactly badges we prioritize over these other guys. So, okay, sweet. So just to go.
Do me one favor.
Yes. What do you think?
I am gonna put ankle braces in C.
C.
Because some point guards give more, ankle breakers on the center more than others. So I think in a series, it's possible you might throw that on. So I'm not going to put it in complete useless. I'm going to put it in C.
Okay, perfect. And again, just to reiterate here, so S tier is going to be the badges, guys. If you have just a few badge points, you have got to have these on. These are the 5 probably most important defensive big man rebounding defensive badges on the game here. In A category is definitely badges. If you have the points, you need these on. Like May said, if you maybe throw a couple of these on gold, if you only have 20 badge points, and throw these at least on bronze, probably at least bronze for sure on box. And then if you have extra badge points, worm could be pretty useful, chase down could be pretty useful, and trapper depending on play styles. Also, pickpocket could be pretty good sometimes. Pogo could be pretty good. And like he said, ankle braces in certain situations against certain guards, especially maybe on the park against those guys that are getting a lot of ankle breakers. That may be a decent badge. Though I still think even with it high, a lot of guys still get ankles broken. But obviously that's a pretty broken mechanic in the game right now. So awesome. Anything else to finish up here, May? What do you think?
No, I mean, I'm looking at the list. I actually... I'm glad it's somewhat evened out. Like I was thinking, I was afraid we were gonna get too lopsided, but I think it looks pretty good.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I think this is pretty perfect. If I were making one, it would look very, very similar. So I think it's pretty unanimous across the board. These are probably the best badges for a big man in a defensive center, especially. Guys, if you are more rebounding oriented, like he said, throwing box into the S tier probably makes sense. Throwing worm into A tier probably makes sense as well. But for those of you that with not as many badge points, if you don't have 30, it may be a little more difficult and challenging to get those badges high on your player, which totally makes sense. So make sure that we're still prioritizing these badges up here. Again, May, we appreciate your time here. For those out there, we appreciate you guys for viewing the video. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you guys think about this tier list, what you would change on this, if anything at all. And we appreciate you guys for tuning in, and we will see you guys again soon with a lot more of these style videos. We appreciate it. Peace.